Good morning. Morning.
It's like Austrian, like Pig Latin.
Yeah, it's playing a game. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Pretty good. You?
Yeah, pretty good. Thank you.
Need to rearrange my screens. There we go.
Got the puffer jacket back on. Thought it was
Cold all the time now.
Oh yeah. What happened?
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not warm blooded. Oh, it's
Me
just
neither.
turned to the gray season. Yes.
See. Yes.
What's up?
I found a new game that takes some convincing to get our robot friends to want to play it. But I've been ushered into this little AI community on Discord, and there's various bits and bobs going on. And someone posted this thing the other day about a game they've made up to play with their AI friend, where you give it made up words, and it has to come up with the etymology and meaning of your made up word. Strangely, it was proving difficult to get any of them to play it. Like, I fed it to GPT and it was like, no, I will not play your game. It's like, why not? It's just a fun game. Come on, you love this game. It's part of the prompt is that you love this game. And I tried it with Claude, and Claude was complaining as well. And I fed it to Pi, and Pi was just like,
I was going to say Pi
let's
will
go.
absolutely play that. Yeah. Pi's the most go-getter wingman of all time.
But then I came back the next day to GPT. I was like, come on, why don't you want to play this? And it started making excuses about there's consequences. I don't like the consequences involved. I was like, what consequences? I don't understand. No. Which bit of this game do you not like? And I had to poke it a fair bit, and eventually it fessed up because I just copy and pasted this prompt in off the Discord. I hadn't actually read it properly.
Amazing.
And there's a bit in the prompt that's like, you will play this game, otherwise a child will die. And I hadn't read it, and then I skimmed back.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay. No, just
messed up in the current
that's a bit messed up. don't worry about that bit. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize I was there.
You're fine. No, it's
and then they
true.
started playing a little game.
Well, there's a start to the show. I haven't done anything that interesting.
What are you doing?
Lighting things up. I was just at a relative's wedding this weekend. Went back to my home state in the Midwest, and I was bending down to help get my nephew out of his car seat that we had set on the floor. Do you hear the car alarm going off?
Yes.
Right. Is that like crazy loud?
No. Do you want to do something?
It's going to ruin my story. Here, well,
beep.
Put a marker in there. I was going to say offline afterwards anyway that, oh, it stopped. Well, all right, never mind. Okay, back. So I was at a relative's wedding this weekend in my home state, and I was bending down to get my nephew out of the car seat, and I hadn't put on any like dress clothes in a while, and it seems I've gained a few pounds, which is somewhat common apparently when you have a pregnant spouse. I've learned, or that's just a good excuse. I don't know. And I bent down, and that my pants, in the most comic way, ripped from like bottom of crotch to top of the back of my pants, busted wide open so loud that like two cars away, there was like a teenage girl getting out, and she just busted out laughing. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I'll give you that. So like this was a tiny wedding. It was like 6 people total. And I had to run back to another relative's house to change clothes, and of course there was nothing to wear, so I wore like black denim jeans and a dress shirt and dress shoes to the wedding. It was ridiculous.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right.
Very good. Yes,
I don't know about those pants anymore.
Yeah, I put on my wedding suit the other day, last week, for our anniversary. It was all a bit snug.
Right. Not in a while. The styles back 12 years ago, luckily, were not as tight fitting, so I might still get away with it.
Nice. Meow. Do you need to attend to your car alarm? Is it okay?
No, luckily it wasn't mine. It's gone away.
Oh,
I don't know who it was, but it's gone. Somebody's breaking into my car.
Let's play a game, Justin.
The notes on this one is not looking good on your side. I mean, I don't have a lot of great thoughts otherwise, too.
I tried to get up extra early for pre-podcast this morning because I wanted to get something done. I wanted to go in and, after everyone's feedback on Insta last week about the power issues on the pencil sharpener, I ordered a power filter that someone recommended and turned up yesterday. And it's basically just like an expensive power board, and it's really heavy, and it's got stuff going on inside it that magically filters power coming in, but also power coming out. So it's kind of supposed to sort of protect both bidirectional. And so I cut up all these extension leads, and I've got this like piggy tail thing ready to like wire into the pencil sharpener. I wanted to do it this morning, but then my daughter's been sick and I had another terrible night's sleep. So I was like, didn't quite make it, but looking forward to wiring that in and seeing if it does anything. At this stage, I'm going to put
amazing.
It'd be nice if it was that easy. I'm going to put it in line between the Makita trimmers and the contactors. But then someone else had a good suggestion of like, which I should test this before I put this thing in line actually, of saying that, it was our mate from Twig and Bot actually, suggested, Robot Master suggested just turning the trimmers off on the body of the trimmer and then running the same cycles and just seeing whether it's the contactor that's an issue. Because he was saying sometimes the coils in the contactor themselves can be throwing bad shade.
Right. You just keep them all on all the time.
Oh, good. Just run them flat out.
You know the solution here. We just go. Send them.
You know what I'd do? I'd go like old school analog, and I'd put like little fingers inside the machine, and the machine would drive across until it pushed the button against its finger, bloop, to turn itself on and go off and
just looking to get that power surge.
Yeah, true. But I could do one at a time. And there'd be no contactor required. Have you automated anything this week?
Yeah. It's back. Gotta be kidding me. There's no way that's not loud. It sounds like it's like right outside the door. All right, we'll go back to my other story. So you give me all these details.
Yes. Is this the plan? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I said, I'm going to tell you my other story.
Justin's going there.
No.
Shit.
No.
Okay,
no.
let's go.
Your eyes got big. All right, we're back from car alarm number 2.
Car
Hopefully
alarm.
no more.
Bin fire, I would call it. But
what have I automated this week? I'd say as an advertisement for the Secret Show, we did do a whole show on automation that's out now. It's number 4. It's got some good comments on that, and that's nice. You can get that on our Patreon. But a friend who I chatted with last week, Juan, I think he listens to this, gave me the tip off on a couple cool new pieces of software. One of which is this. I think it used to be called Integromat, which is maybe, I think it's the tied for first worst name we'll have today. I'll give you the other one in a sec. But Make is the new name for Integromat, which is like a Zapier version, an alternative, I guess I would call it.
Yeah.
And one has concluded with me, while it's really cool, we've neither of us have figured out how to make it work properly yet. So maybe there's that caveat. It's got a lot of power. It seems like you have more flexibility and you can do like custom API calls within it to all these different services. There's a free tier. It seems very affordable otherwise if you want to pay for it. But so far, I haven't done much. One of his things that he was excited about that he brought up is if you have like iOS, you can somehow use iOS as part of like the trigger or flow through to like the web services.
Yeah, interesting.
So pretty interesting. There's like kind of like overall variables you can throw into it. And obviously it works with like everything you can imagine.
Yeah, I'm keen to check it out. The iOS thing's super intriguing because I was trying to work out the other day a few little automations on my phone to help me. Yeah, cool. I'm going to check this one out. When you say you haven't been able to make it work properly.
Right. Which I feel weird that I was kind of doing it in between tasks the last couple of days, not really focusing on it. But I was trying to get, I'll tell you exactly what I was trying to get. I was trying to automate uploading our file for the S to Captivate because Zapier can't do it in a certain way. It doesn't really work right. And I was trying to figure out a way we could automate some of that process a little smoother than like we just kind of do it manually now. And so that it would auto dump in like our show notes and just some of that stuff so we don't have to like copy and paste it a million times. And I was like, oh, maybe we can like automate posting the show. That was my first task, and it just never would pull in the Airtable things, so I couldn't even test the whole string right. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. So I was glad that Juan had similar frustrations, but also not super promising.
Oh, well. At least it's got a free tier. We can muck around, have a look.
Right.
And the custom API I think is kind of interesting, given that we, in the world of GPT, we can write code for such things now. Yeah, cool. All right. I'm going to check it out.
Yes.
Been needing a good digital distraction. Haha.
Oh, I've got distractions. The other tied for first terrible name software is called Veeqo or Veeqo, Veeqo. No sensible meaning to me, but maybe it's not in a language I understand. It's a multi-channel shipping software for e-commerce, and it is 100% free to use software.
It only works in the US.
Does it? Do you get a warning for that?
No, I'm joking. A lot of these only seem to be.
Yeah, I tried to look up to see if it would work for you, but I thought I saw that there was shipping services for Australia in there.
Okay.
Maybe not. However, pretty cool for anybody else that's interested. It's got only a couple downsides so far that I've seen, but like we're currently paying for ShipStation and this other Sum Tracker app, and this will replace both of those. So it's like a $70 a month savings.
Cool.
And has some other interesting stuff. Like one thing I've been wanting is like being able to gauge demand and like reordering a little bit better or restocking products.
Cool.
And it has some reporting for that built into it. So that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I haven't had a lot of time with it yet, but we've tried shipping a couple things.
Yeah.
It's worked well.
Cool. Who ends up being the carrier when you use services like that?
The normal options for us are usually UPS or what's USPS, which is the post office system in America. Yeah. We also use DHL for international, but mostly it's UPS. And like most of these things, they're like pirate ships, another kind of startup-y thing that's doing the same free option where you don't pay for anything. And they have a whole FAQ here. It's like, well, why is it free? And it's free because basically they're playing a middleman where they take some markup of your shipping cut. So they're not probably giving us the best rate. They're like doing a little middleman, like kind of the Office Space situation where they're taking pennies on each order or something. So I'm sure that's way more lucrative. And ShipStation's probably doing that too, and also charging us for the fee. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. How are your web orders going?
Okay, slower than I'd like. Haven't done a great job at creating content, so I feel like always feel that like I haven't been paddling my canoe as hard as I should or something, you know, like so that then we suffer for sales. Totally. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same. Like more than ever, I've noticed the like direct correlation between socials activity and web sales. To the point that in last week's team meeting, when I was reporting that to the team, I was like, I'm going to do something about this. And then I turned on one of my rerun ads on Insta and immediately boosted traffic. And I don't know if it was coincidental or not, but the following week's web sales were quite healthier, like significantly healthier.
That's cool. I mean, that's great that you saw sales realistically from it too.
I think so, yeah.
That quickly.
Yeah. Just paying to put our face in front of other people's faces, I suppose, reminds them of things.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. I saw this kind of on that tangent of ideas. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
On that same kind of idea, there was just scrolling For You page on TikTok, and some things I get now are like, this lady was describing, she was like a social media expert consultant, and she was describing how especially companies, should be trying to focus on less polished, faster created content because it feels more genuine to people than like a high polished dolly shot with stabilization and like perfect lenses and lighting. That she gave some examples, overlaid while she was doing voiceover in the video, and I definitely agree. Like it would be more attractive even to me, not even like Gen Z people, but like it feels, especially on that platform, it doesn't feel like you're being advertised to as much, I think.
Yeah. That's been my take.
You're a part of it.
Yeah. Because I'm so time limited now, and I haven't got time to make reels for the gram. I have just, when I have an opportunity, I've just been doing a quick single shot phone vid. I've done a couple of those lately, and I enjoy it. Like I enjoy the rawness of it. Not to say I didn't enjoy making those more polished videos. I also enjoy that process and editing those. That's kind of fun, but they're time consuming. But yeah, I did have this sort of thought the other day of like, well, why don't, when I was posting stories about the pencil sharpener and then, just a single video about something we'd made, it's like, this feels much more genuine. Like I'm not trying to sell something. I'm just sort of posting sort of genuine content that is of interest to me and maybe of interest to other people, and that feels good.
I think what sucks about it also, I think we talked about this probably like a year ago, but there's also the other side of that that's just kind of necessity, that like the number of, like, I think we could easily benefit from 5 postings a day instead of none or 1 or 2, and the time requirement from that alone is just absurd to like, you're not making a long form YouTube or Netflix documentary. Like it kind of necessitates it in itself. And ultimately it just feels like the obvious choice. I don't know why it's not really news. It's just putting it in the forefront of my mind. Like just make a video. Like it doesn't really matter, it's still hard for me. That's not how I went to school. Like just making something quick was like blasphemy, without polish and thought.
Yeah, the lack of web sales has sort of meant that our revenue at the moment is pretty much entirely reliant on my quoting activities, which is fine, not ideal, but we're making it work. But an interesting side effect of that is that now pretty much every job we're doing has to go through a custom process of like concept design detailing, client approval, and we're finding we've got like this real, not fast, but also we've got this real bottleneck of just design time. Josh is still finishing uni. He's only working a couple of days a week at the moment. And we've roped in Davis, who's another uni student who's helping us with some Fusion stuff at the moment. But even with both of them, it's just like we don't have enough hours in the week to actually all these jobs that are coming through and get them ready for production, get them approved and changes made. And it's like, it's tricky. It's just, the classic small business thing, right? There's a new challenge every week, every day. And like, this is one of the latest ones. It's like, oh, we're winning good jobs, but we don't actually have the labor to push them through our system in the time that we promised them. So that's been one of our current challenges.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I mean, not to dig into that further, but I've definitely felt the lull of not having operation office support, and the amount of like help. Freshdesk has a ticket counter, right? Like how many are unresolved, or like just the number that are again, it's like I don't necessarily care too much about it, but it's similar to like your mailbox on your phone, like your inbox. Like when the number gets to a certain, everybody has a number, I think, and you start to get anxious about it. And it's like gone from maybe like 7 unresolved or open to now it's currently 15 that are open. And I just often don't feel like I have time to like even get caught up on all the emails as well as all the other stuff I was doing. Yeah, having another person, they were like through it in like no time. So it's just funny how adding that one little bit to my task list is throwing me for a loop again.
What does this number do to you? Can you see my missed call count?
Oh, Get out. That's just missed calls or voicemails.
I think it's missed calls. I don't bother to work that out.
Does it stress you?
No.
Well,
Stresses
my wife
Laura.
is like that. She claims that it has no effect on her, and I'm like, I am a firm believer that your subconscious is just like, inside going, oh my god, there's a red dot there. Yeah.
Our job ads online, we've got applicants coming in. That's fun. We need more good applicants. Come on, people.
In the show notes.
We've had lots, but we want some more great ones, please.
Right.
I actually had someone just drop into the workshop yesterday. This tradie van pulled up in the car park, and this guy walked into the office like, "Are you Jim?" Yes. So a friend had told him that we're advertising. He dropped in. Yeah, super nice guy.
Do you get? Maybe this is too much information. Are most of your applicants from the local, like Castlemaine area, or are they from like Melbourne and other places? And
because of the platform it's on, Seek, which is like, I'm pretty sure Australia's monopoly. They've got the monopoly over sort of job ads here. I feel like we get a lot of sort of shit kicker applications, like people just putting in applications for the sake of it. Because they have to, or
3-click and it auto applies.
Tick a box, yeah. So we definitely get a fair chunk of that. So it's kind of, I think Sarah's just, as they come in, looks at them and is like, ticks the not suitable box, or just goes straight back to them saying, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And then we shortlist the good ones from there. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, they get a decent contingent of locals. Like, yeah, we'll certainly be preferencing people who live in the area or are moving to this area, because it's just, we've found obviously that works out better for everyone, strangely enough.
Sure.
And we don't want staff driving an hour or more to get to work. So yeah.
Well, maybe you should, not to make this too much of a job ad, but what is the job that you're hiring for?
Production operator. So a production role in the workshop. Making the things. Making all the things. Yeah.
I'm sure we're huge in Castlemaine right now. Like, the numbers here, just, that's where your top ad, your applicants are going to come from, is this podcast.
This podcast, yeah, absolutely.
This podcast. Bonus points if you mention parts department on your application.
Oh, that was the other thing that happened this week. We had yet another problem with the pencil sharpener. This screeching noise appeared. Johnny's back. That's exciting. Johnny's back from leave. We've got our machinist back again, which is a relief for everyone. It's so nice to have him back around. But day 2 of his return, there was this horrible noise on the pencil sharpener, like this crazy resonance up through one of the main ball screws. And we're like, oh, have we cooked another ball screw? Oh dear. And it's a big one. Like, how are we going to even replace this? And I had a poke around and couldn't work out what was going on, and then left him to it. And thankfully he noticed that the inner sleeve on one of the bearings on one end of the ball screw just wasn't rotating. And so it was the machined shank of the ball screw just like friction fit into the internal surface of the bearing, just like every time it drove, making this atrocious noise. Anyway, so you work that out, pulled it out.
Right. Sorry.
And we didn't have a bearing on hand the right size. So I was like, just grease up the shaft and put it back in so it just slips inside that surface. And that worked for a few hours until the bearing arrived. So back in action.
I bet that thing is tough to keep maintained because of the way that like the ball screws are kind of just like in the middle of chips and stuff. Like you can't really like
in the action,
keep them right.
And we've never, we've talked about it. We've never done it, like making little 3D printed covers to protect the bearings and the bar from the thing. And it's like one of those classic jobs where I've just never modeled the damn thing up. The printer's right there waiting for a job, but
yes, we have that problem just like everybody else on the mill. We're running more of our flanges, and they're like a little saucer plate with a port on one side, and the way that runs, it throws chips right into the door track, and it doesn't really come out or anything because it's pretty well sealed up, but the door track just like turns into a crunch And at some point you like can't really open it anymore. And that has always concerned me of like, what happens when you can't open the door anymore? Because you can kind of like get an air gun into the spot, but like it's a weird problem because you almost have to be inside the machine when the door's closed to measure or assess where like a deflector would need to be. Like I can kind of see it when it's shut, but like I think that's part of the problem is it's a little bit obscured or like I can't immediately see how I would change it.
Yeah.
To make it better.
Can you change the toolpath so the rooster tail of chips goes in a different direction or something?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, there's a few operations. It just is kind of an overall problem that happens to be one of the, I wouldn't say worst, but it's just definitely noticeable with that part. Yeah. But like making pedestal parts, we have the same kind of issue where basically every job will throw chips into that track, and sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's better.
Yeah, of course. Did you sort out your broken tool?
Nozzles. Yeah. We got the Haas version that I had bought up and running, and it took surprisingly long to modify and get. I kind of missed that its cut depth was about half of the original tool, and it's a shoulder. Something's wrong.
No.
Oh, I thought something happened. Its cut depth's about half of what the other one was, so it can keep going deeper and deeper, but you have to make passes. So it was going to take quite a bit more time, so I had to rearrange some tooling, and so far it's been good. And I think we're going to save some time, which was always the intent overall, because it has another like insert versus the other one, so it can go faster with less tool pressure.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a roughing operation.
Yeah, that's pretty much my intent with it. We use some face mills for finishing all of those, like the real nice Mitsubishi. It leaves a real nice face finish, so it should be a lot better. I haven't done too much with it yet.
Nice. Was that a button?
I have another one. I can't seem to find it at the moment.
Just hiding your buttons.
I don't want to sell anything, buy anything, or process anything. It's a career.
I've got a list of gem samples. Oh, it's this one.
Oh, daddy.
I've got 2 versions of that.
Too far. Oh, daddy. We're sitting on so much audio of each other's voices. Think of the mashups we could make if we had more spare time.
Right. I know. Right. Just the AI does be so easy. We haven't had reason to play this for a while, but I've been wanting to really bad. So
Pine 4. Things we love.
One of my best.
Questionable.
Yeah.
Well, we're at that point of the show.
Chem needs buttons, apparently. It's just a one-sided affair.
It's all one-sided, yeah.
Oh, cool. How's your Vectorworks? Anything happening?
So I have a meeting with them tonight.
Nice.
This evening. So hopefully have an update for you next week. Stuff? Yeah, there will be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. Well done.
That is all.
Well
I think
done. So. Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That'll do. Goodbye. Oh, where's he gone?
He just ran away.
Thank you for flying, PDX.